Hello, welcome. This is going to be blessings and miracles coming through in the next 3 days. Pile 1, group 1, blessings and miracles coming through in the next 3 days. We have, 10 of Pentacles, stable and secure future. Before I forget, the song that came up for you guys during the shuffle in the magical playlist was Because Somebody Prayed by Crowder. I think it's called Somebody Prayed by Crowder. So there will be a music playlist attached if you guys want to check that out, or don't. But it will give you a further insight into some of your blessings coming in. So we have a home, a stable future, family, some kind of routine coming in. This could be also some kind of money that's being passed down through generations coming through in the next 3 days. An offer of a higher commitment is coming through for you in the next 3 days. Okay, blessings coming through in the next 3 days, miracles in the next 3 days for group number 1, please. Okay, so there's some kind of blessing or miracle coming through with some kind of occupation, contract work, freelancing, creative work, self-employment. There's an emphasis here with being self-employed. So this can also be some kind of job offer or some kind of commission. I see art here, so somebody could be commissioning a certain piece for you. We also have social media couple coming up sometime in the next 3 days. This is a blessing or miracle. There could be some kind of exposure, especially if you have some kind of content related or centered around couple content. Family-based content is something else that's showing up. I'm also picking up on you feeling called to document some of these memories or some of these events or some of these festivities that you may be coming into contact with over the next 3 days. Okay, so let's see if there's any other blessings or miracles for group number 1 over the next 3 days. Okay, leave your current job. So you could be leaving a place of employment to pursue something else. You could be feeling called to make a significant change related to your finances here. Group number 1, that is a blessing or miracle that's coming in for you over the next 3 days. Group number 1. You won't get the job. There's something better on the way. Okay. You'll soon become aware of information or an opportunity that will be of benefit to you. So this could be something that you were praying for direction on. You could have been asking God to direct you towards the most beneficial position for you. And so if there is some kind of redirection or if you're not able to get the first job that comes along, then don't despair or lose hope, because I do see that something better is on the horizon. Let's see what else we have here. That could be why it says leaving your current job as well. Oh, look, you have luck here. Luck is showing up. Oh, and something about boundaries as well. So preserving or protecting whatever it is that's blooming in your life. And luck came out with 2 other cards. So let's see what they are. Oh, we have play. And when I'm seeing the squirrel, I'm picking up on conserving resources, saving, storing things away for winter. Preparing for winter is something that could be coming up in the next 3 days. And then we have abundance. So whatever it is, this luck that's coming in, I'm also kind of picking up on fruits and nuts. So that could be a positive change or miracle that's coming your way in the next 3 days. But I'm also feeling that you might be feeling called to eat healthier because of this stability that's coming in for you guys. You may have been in a situation, bottom of the deck energy, the hanged man. You could have been in a situation where you were having to start over, or your family was having to go place to place, and you may have been having to eat out. I'm also picking up on somebody working late. It could be like, for example, for accountants, it's tax season when they start working extra hours. So I feel like there could be something applicable for your industry where you're working extra hours at this time, and it could be causing you to eat out more often. But I'm just picking up on balancing your snacks in some ways. Some of you could be having blood sugar issues, but keeping fruits and nuts on hand is going to be useful for you. Okay, let's see what else. Any more miracles or blessings coming in? Group number 1. Okay, so we have glitter and gold. You have fame, splendor, and center of attention coming in. Whatever this blessing or miracle that's coming in the next 3 days is going to kind of spark a chain reaction, a chain of events for you, group number 1. And it all came from this prayer that you were praying, that somebody else was praying on your behalf. And whatever it is, this gift that's coming in, this fortune that's coming in, it's going to create stability, and it's going to create a lot of fame and attention around probably this self-employment opportunity or whatever it is that is coming in for you. We also have harp showing up here. It says healing, spiritual harmony, and spiritual discord. So there could be messages or healing frequencies related to music that you could be really relating to in the next 3 days. But whatever it is here, there's something spiritual discord. There's some kind of spiritual healing that's taking place in this next 3 days. You were able to heal something extremely heavy for your bloodline with that 10 of Pentacles that showed up in the beginning of the reading. And then we also have gown here, beauty, attraction, struggles with femininity. So if you were somebody who was having trouble staying in your softness and that female energy of receiving, creating, resting when we need to, being soft, okay, being protected. These are things that not everybody comes into this lifetime feeling naturally able to do, or it comes easier for others sometimes. And so this is something that it's your turn, is what I'm hearing. This is a new era for you to be able to go into. Group number 1. So group number 1, signs and synchronicities that you may see centered around these blessings. We have swan here, okay, with gown also showing up. You could have some kind of beauty glow up that's coming in, some kind of event where you're able to dress up and really show off some of your beauty here with the swan. Yeah, I'm picking up on some kind of celebration. Birthdays could be significant, getting dressed up and really celebrating the people that you love. Hearts could also be a sign or synchronicity. Look at what else came out. Squirrel, being a busy squirrel, packing things away for winter. We also have music. Winter tires could be significant for you. Listen for messages coming through in music. Your angels are trying to speak to you. Trains could also be significant. And lizards, okay? These are all signs and synchronicities. The lizard is a sign of regeneration. And also, when I see the lizard, sometimes it comes through as a reminder that even if we have to lose an area of our life, a relationship, a connection that means a lot to us, if it's causing us harm, there's something here that's going to be regenerated. It's like the lizard can still live on even without that part of itself, without its tail. And knowing that growth, regeneration, and healing will take place. Okay. Hi, group number 2. So this is going to be blessings and miracles coming to you in the next 3 days. Just to be honest, in the pre-shuffle, we did get the Tower card that came out for you, group number 2, but this is about blessings and miracles. So I feel like there's some kind of upheaval that's occurring in your life that's going to be a blessing in disguise. And I hate to even say that right now because I can relate to the Tower energy at this moment, and it's been I want to say tumultuous? I'm hearing tumultuous, but I can't say that word. Time. It's been difficult for me. Yes, and the dog next door sympathizes with our pain and agony. His owners are gone. Her owners are gone. I'm not sure. But yeah, they're gone, so she's upset. But the song that came up for you guys in the shuffle of the magical playlist was Help Is On The Way. I think it was by Toby Mac was the name of the artist. And the song that came on after that was by Chris Webby, Right Where I Belong. And I just had to smile when that song came on because I honestly had that song played for me recently when I had lost everything yet again and found my family in homeless situation, sad circumstances. And it's been difficult, you know, being grateful for the purpose behind the pain and the lessons that we don't always know why God has us. Being exposed to certain truths and not being able to unsee certain connections and dynamics for what they are, but knowing that this is a blessing in disguise and you are right where you belong. Okay, group number 2. Blessings, miracles, good things coming in for group number 2 in the next 3 days. Okay, so we have exploration, self-discovery, new experiences, soul-searching, stepping into the unknown, and curiosity. So curiosity and exploration, discovering something new. That could be why the tower showing up here, hearing a message or getting some kind of news about something unfolding, some kind of upheaval, some kind of, I'm just picking up on like a truth coming to light, somebody confessing something perhaps. Exploring or self-discovery, maybe getting some hidden information about your psyche or something that's happened in your past that you're starting to come to terms with or to heal through. We have the Four of Wands showing up. So there could be some kind of celebration, success. It says, let's toast to this. This can also be a union or some kind of marriage, some kind of partnership, or family. Four of Wands. You could be celebrating with family. We also have patience showing up. It says divine timing, surrender, slow progress, spiritual growth, long-term vision, and faith in the process. I had a conversation with my dad recently, and he had said something about, I told him, well, God told me to do this, and that situation didn't turn out very good. So he says, yeah, if you even were talking to God. And I was like, wait, you think I was talking to another entity or something? And he was like, well, I didn't see anything good coming from it, did you? And I don't know, I told him later, like the next day, I was like, that really hurt my feelings. And I told him, but what I did about it was I prayed, and I asked God, I was like, God, did you say that to me when I prayed to you before? And it felt like you answered my prayer and told me to go a certain direction. And then at the last minute, when I followed those instructions, you rerouted me another way. And it really felt like, I'm picking up on like Moses when God parted the seas and they couldn't go back and they couldn't go forward, but God made a way. And so I just had to move forward and have faith that God was going to make a way. And here we are almost 2 months later. And honestly, I feel like this is not better. I feel like I'm still wandering in the desert, and God had promised to take me somewhere. And because I was rerouted, I had to know, God, did you answer my prayer? And I opened my book of Psalms to Psalm 50, and the very first verse said, I, the Lord, have spoken. And that entire psalm goes on to talk about how when God is hungry, God doesn't let us know. It was talking about sacrifice and how God doesn't want a sacrifice of food because God already owns everything in the earth. Rather, God just wants the thanksgiving and the glory. And that is the offering that unlocks God's protection, God's blessings, God's faithfulness, God's fulfillment of the covenant. There's something here about Psalm 50. And at the bottom of the Psalms in my book, it goes on to give a description of what you can use that prayer for. And it said, to open the eyes to the possibility of good. So I felt like God had answered my prayer, and I feel like you could be in a situation where you're waiting to see the good in a really shitty situation. You're waiting to see how God is going to fulfill his promise to take care of you, to provide for you. And maybe that's why this celebration is coming in, because of this patience that you've had in keeping your faith and knowing that even at the worst of times and it feels like God has gone silent, there is the possibility of good, and being able to open your eyes and expand on, that could be why the exploration card had shown up. Expand on the possibilities of good. If you know for sure God was the one that answered your prayer, knowing that there is a reason why you were being redirected. Okay, and it says mirroring here. Okay, and so this could have been some kind of protection that was taking place with somebody who was mirroring your behavior, mimicking your movements and your passions, so that they could essentially deliver some kind of karmic lesson. But I feel that as the hidden blessing here is that you moved past that you were able to come out of that situation, even though it was painful and you may perceive to have lost a lot. It wasn't anything in comparison to what you were protected from. I was thinking about doing a pick a card on what was I protected from. And so if you guys are interested in hearing that reading, just leave me a comment and I will put that together for us next. But I feel as though there's some kind of interpretation of your personality that you were taking on from people projecting that onto you. And so you may be stepping away from some of these mirrored projections. You may be receiving some kind of closure to a relationship you lost with somebody who could be of the same gender as you. Okay, this could be a best friend, a sister, this could be a parent, okay? But I'm feeling as though you together were mirroring some kind of heavy lesson that is coming to the surface. I'm seeing a lot of emotions, negative emotions, with the King of Cups in reverse. A lot of closure centered around feeling unloved, feeling unworthy, feeling unstable in this connection. And your song being that help is on the way. Okay, I think that you guys are going to be seeing evidence of your miracle in the next 3 days, especially if you have been patient, super patient. Okay, blessings and miracles coming in for group number 2, please. Blessings and miracles. Commitment, and it fell right into place on the table where it needed to be. So some kind of partnership is on the table for you, and it feels like it's falling into place. It feels like it's a perfect match. Okay, it says long-term promise, dedication, loyalty, contract, responsibility. I also feel like this is a sign of your commitment to your faith, to the promise that you made to God to never forsake God, just as he would never leave you. Okay? What else? Group number 2. Oh my goodness. Wish granted. With the star card, there's definite wish fulfillment coming in, and it could be centered around this exposure, or it could be born from the ashes of everything that was torn down. Wishes granted, wishes fulfilled, success, fruition, happy ending, perfect scenario, dream. I'm also kind of picking up on with the dandelion. People didn't see your value. They didn't see your worth. They may have even tried to poison what it was that you were sent on this earth, planted on this earth to do. But being a wildflower, I almost said wildfire. That was wild. Being a wildflower, you don't really care where you grow. And people may see you as invasive. They may see you as counterproductive when actually you were sent to heal. You were sent to bring a deeper understanding into nature's medicine, is what I'm hearing. Okay. We also have star power underneath on the bottom of the deck. So it says influencer, spotlight, fame, entertainment, popular, reputation, step into the spotlight. Be careful at stoplights. Okay. Be careful crossing the street at a stoplight in the next 3 days. That could be a blessing. If you avoid some kind of catastrophic outcome because you took caution, for jumping timelines truly is just making another choice. You stepping off that curb and you jumped a timeline. Had you stepped out a few seconds later, it would be a whole different future that unfolded for you. But because you made a different choice, you jumped into a different reality. Number 2. People skills, sales, social life, diplomat, team effort, community, and collectivism. So I feel like your contribution matters. Okay, if you felt like your work wasn't being recognized, you may have teammates or some kind of collaboration in the future that's going to emphasize your talents. It's going to help draw awareness to what you have to offer. And there may be some kind of new clientele or an expansion of business that it takes place. An important meeting could also be unfolding here related to your business. I also heard marriage, so I'm not sure what kind of meeting would look like that, but that could be centered around, I don't know, maybe a divorce. Congratulations in the next 3 days. I don't know. It says roots, ancestors, the familiar, grounding, reconciliation, returning an identity, returning to your roots. Yeah, especially if this is some kind of like separation or some kind of legal matter where you're able to get back to who you are, right? a sense of your identity is restored here in the next 3 days. This could also be some kind of deep healing related to your ancestor line or your bloodline, being able to heal something that has been toxic, that's been leaking out your sacred energy, as I see here in the tree. Okay. Anything else for group number 2 in the next 3 days? Okay, we have the in-between, and I'm also just again seeing that dandelion energy. Something about Wildflowers by Dolly Parton could be another important song for you. Something about just not being afraid to move away from everything that's familiar, everything that you've known as far as your roots, and expand, and know that this in-between phase could be uncomfortable, it could be unpleasant, but that the journey is not complete. That's why this patience is a blessing. Knowing that help is still coming on the way. It could be midnight or midday. This could also be talking about the eclipse that's coming up in the month of September. There's a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse coming up in the month of September. So that could be significant for you. We have vacations, travel, jobs, escapes, traveling, getaway, break, freedom, and spare time. I thought that said and I was like, spare the what? Left me on a cliffhanger here. Take time to recharge. People could be feeling like you left them on a cliffhanger, like you used to be really expressive and you've gone quiet, or vice versa. You're normally super quiet and you start expressing yourself more in the next 3 days. And this is something that's going to lead to some kind of chain reaction, butterfly effect, ripple effect is going to be taking place here. Communication, writing, blogging, self-expression, podcast, and voice. Okay, so if you've been feeling called to make these changes, go ahead and do so in the next 3 days, because I see some kind of sudden dramatic shift in a very short time. Take bold steps forward. Okay. Closing out, any closing messages about these blessings and miracles for group number 2? We have relieving suffering, move beyond the pain. Interesting. Poppies here, which are used medicinally for pain. Relieving suffering. And then the number 5 could be also significant. My dad and I were actually just talking about when I was a kid. And what does this say? Joseph, fathering and responsibility. That's crazy. My dad and I were just talking about the cross and how he baptized me and my brothers in the Mormon church, and I wore a cross around my neck. He gifted me a cross at my baptism, and it's actually frowned upon in the Mormon religion. They believe that the cross is an idol. And I told my dad, that's fine. He was like, I kind of messed up there, huh? And I was like, that's fine, because I gifted my own kids a cross when they were baptized in the same church. Something about tradition, and sometimes we just do things out of because we haven't known anything else. And this could be an expansion of that for the future generations and even the prior generations, right? Like the blessing in the next 3 days could be something about getting closer to your ancestors, getting closer and healing certain father wounds, or spending time with your father, or appreciating something that your father has to offer you. And kind of noticing how it's not always a bad thing to do something outside of the societal norm, or especially if it's something that rooted in religion and tradition in a way that, Jesus wasn't too fond of rigid religion and being closed-minded in that sense. And so my dad kind of smiled when I told him that. I said, they told me the same thing when I would wear a silver cross around my neck, which my dad actually gifted me, that silver cross when I was a kid. And it actually protected me when I leaned over and it was electrocuted in the electric socket, and it burned off of my neck without harming me. And so there's something here about spiritual protection, testimony that you have to pass on to multiple generations, right? Yeah, look at the bottom of the deck. Spiritual protection. Okay. So something significant about your spiritual practices and the tools that you're using, the imagery, and a deeper understanding in some of the symbolism that you may be seeing, the signs that you're seeing at this time. Okay, and I feel called to get you one more card here. Okay, so we have twin flame is what came out. So this is some kind of relationship healing that's taking place. Since the car alarm's going off, I'll end it here. Hi, group number 3. This is going to be blessings and miracles coming to you over the next 3 days. From whenever you find this timeless message, there is going to be a musical playlist attached for you. 3 songs specifically came up for you, titled Sing Higher by Little Stranger, Prof, Devil's Gate, and Step Brothers, by an artist that I can't remember their name right now. Ballerinas specifically were in your music video in the lyrics, and they're showing up here in the cards that came up in the pre-shuffle. So there is something significant about the energy of ballet or ballerinas. Spiritually, they signify dedication, mastering a skill, grace, balance, beauty, but specifically something that goal that requires great strength and dedication to achieve. So this could be a blessing or miracle that's coming in for you over the next 3 days. So finding out more, please, for group number 3. Blessings and miracles coming in. Okay, so we have the 5 of Swords, so there could be some kind of strategic planning here with the chess pieces that are showing up. But I'm also picking up on a time of strife, a time of conflicts, some conversations that have been challenging, gossip specifically with the parakeet and parrot energy showing up here. A lot of throat energy, communication with the blue. Okay, we also have the King of Cups is showing up here as a blessing or miracle over the next 3 days. So if you have had some heavy conversations centered around a male figure in your life, or this could also be your heart center, something that you feel really passionate about, something that you hold a lot of love for, something or someone. Okay, this could be a blessing coming to you over the next 3 days. There could be some kind of celebrating with some liquor specifically is what I'm picking up on, because I'm tuned into this. It almost looks like a compass here on this bottle. So you could be celebrating a relocation or a transfer of some sort. Okay, we have the 6 of Coins showing up in the reverse position as a blessing or miracle. I'm feeling like lack of support, lack of charity is coming in as a significant amplifying energy here. There's also something here about wanting to make some kind of charitable contribution. You may be praying for certain organizations that you believe in because you don't have the resources, the financial resources to dedicate to them. So you're keeping certain organizations in your prayers and asking God to send them abundance, and they have no idea that you're doing this for them, but you could be keeping certain entities in your prayers is the way it's coming through, because I'm feeling like it's not just a certain person, but organizations is what's coming through here. All right, and then we have the 6 of Swords. So yeah, definitely something about a transfer, relocation, being able to narrow down some sort of location here. We have 4 of Cups and 8 of Swords showing up in the reverse positions on either side of the deck. So I am feeling like you could have been struggling for quite some time on being able to narrow down what felt right for you without, there could have been a long period of rejection here as well. Getting applications rejected, but it's all a part of this rerouting, this big plan to get you to where it is that you're meant to go. It could be certain soulmate connections that you have that are connected to people or resources in this area, and so that could be why you're being led down that path. Okay, miracles and blessings. We have risky desires. Honestly, this is the 3rd time this card's popped out today, all centered around your reading. So it says, don't stress over making the wrong choice. What's truly risky is making no choice at all. Take a chance, options, and gambling. So there could be some kind of lucky breakthrough that comes through in the next couple of days. Your cards that are being dealt to you, you're being dealt a lucky hand here, a winning hand. I'm also, again, picking up on that stepbrother energy. So there could be significant messages for you in that movie. There could be some blessing or communication that's coming in centered around your stepbrother, or this could be a best friend, right? Like a best friend type energy. Did we just become best friends? So, yeah, we have recovery here. There's a period of recovery coming in for you, group number 3. Sing It High by Little Stranger was one of your prominent songs, and he is saying, anything that you need to know, I got information for you. Ask me anything that you need to know. You may be feeling like it's a risky branch to start extending certain commercial products or services out. You may be feeling like now is the time to expand on commission, right? This is something that I'm picking up on specifically. I couldn't think of the word, but commission art or commission services or people contracting your services for something. This is going to be a blessing that brings prosperity in for you and helps you to recover during this Five of Swords period where you may have been really in your head about a lot of strife. I'm hearing that word again, strife. So it says a timeout may be needed. Sometimes the best way to gain perspective is to step away from the situation, a break, solitude, or reflecting. I do feel that this period is coming to an end over the next 3 days because you took the necessary time out for healing. Healing energy surrounds you internally, spiritually, and externally. Know that the situation is being healed. Okay, so there's some kind of strife that's being healed as a period of restoration. Yes? I heard. Oh, okay. A period of reprieve. And it could be centered around some kind of separation that you've been experiencing, especially separation related to children, okay? True love, a profound love is blossoming, leading both of your hearts to deeper understanding of its true depths. Mutual feelings and strong bond is coming through. There's also a softening of the heart that God is granting in a certain connection. It could be that somebody had their heart hardened, much like the Pharaoh had experienced in when Moses had led the people out of Egypt. Okay, God had hardened the Pharaoh's heart. And so I do see some kind of true love or softening of the heart in some sort of connection that you were experiencing separation from. I do see some kind of healing communication or a period of healing that's coming in. Okay, we did also have some cards that fell down and they fell into the dirt. So let's take a look at what they are. We have finality coming through. Also came through with divine timing. Okay, so someone could be concerned about a time limit on a connection, or, you know, their own, they could be coming face to face with their own mortality or their own health. And this could be changing the perspective of certain people that you know and interact with. We have string along. There are no real intentions for a serious commitment now or in the future. They are just leading you on, taking advantage. Make sure that you're not allowing this connection to take advantage of you or to pull on your heartstrings in any way that you're not prepared for, because I am seeing that with time, okay, some of this healing is going to take place over a period of time. But hearing them out, because I do see that there is some kind of message that's coming in that you're going to consider a blessing. Be compassionate, okay, because there is some kind of painful news that's unfolding. It could be, again, centered around a child or children, or it could be that there is a child that is missing you at this time. And I also see a gift of abundance coming through because I see that you were able to pass some kind of lesson. This morning when I was making coffee, I had pulled a Bible verse, and I think it was Psalm 18 if I'm not mistaken, and it said, God makes my feet like that of a deer to enable me to stand on the heights of the mountain. So I thought it was interesting that this deer symbolism is showing up yet again with the abundance. Can I get more information, please, about blessings and miracles coming in for group number 3? We have Psalm 111 to attract love, friendship, and positive meanings. I wanted to say meaning, so you could also be praying for clarity on meaning of certain symbolism and synchronicities that you've been seeing over and over, and then that moment of, oh, I finally understand. I understand what God has been speaking over my life. We have mirror omen. This could be something that you're finding answers to as well, or this could be an omen that's showing up in certain connections that are infiltrating your psyche in a negative way, contributing certain toxic. I'm hearing toxic microdoses. I think they also speak about mushrooms in the song selection I have picked out for you. So there's something here about toxic microdoses of projections. I am the God of Abraham, not I was. Prophets still live. There are multiple timelines, okay? Multiple timelines intersecting and running simultaneously, past, present, future, not running linear in a linear format, but rather something about the connection of the prophets living through immortal means, relating to some kind of quantum truth related to multiple timelines. I'm hoping that that's making sense to somebody. And I feel that this is the power of the I am affirmations when you speak God's name, he starts to listen. So being more mindful of how you speak about yourself, because it's a reflection here of the prophets that walked before. It's a reflection of God himself. So there's something here for someone about that. We also have a second opinion coming in, okay, over the next 3 days for you. Praying over your doctor's visits, making sure that the truth that's being spoken over your life really resonates with you, okay? And we also have not your friend. So if somebody is saying some harsh words to you and you're recognizing that this connection is not fit for you anymore, releasing that and knowing that that itself is some kind of blessing that's unlocking miracles in your life. Yeah. Dump them now before it's too late. Underneath that, we have sea salt. So you could be using sea salt in your spiritual practices somehow. Noting that the sea salt is not only a spiritual tool used for protection and cleansing, but also to seal a covenant or promise with the divine. It's also it's been coming up in my energy recently as a representation of becoming salty due to looking back in the past or focusing on the past exclusively. Again, with that softening of the heart, praying that God softens our heart for understanding on why certain past experiences and relationships, I heard failing relationships, had to occur. It says God is lifting you out of poverty. This is a miracle or blessing that's coming in for you. I feel like it has a lot to do with the prayers that you have been speaking over others. It says angels speak to you through songs and music. This is another example of blessings coming into you for the next couple of days. Okay, so closing out, any closing messages for group number 3? Okay, so we have tobacco. You could be quitting smoking over the next few days, or somebody could be blessing you with a gift of tobacco. I feel like there is some kind of Native American or indigenous meaning here, spiritual meaning tied to the use of the tobacco plant itself. Okay, this could be a peace offering or collaborating with community or across cultures even. This could also be some kind of addictive quality that's being laid to rest that's going to unlock further blessings for you. It says so sweet and so fresh, bubble gum. Okay, so there's some kind of sweetness that's coming in for you over the next few days, as well as focusing on your health here, getting back into the routine of movement, focusing on your health, focusing on your body, focusing on what makes you feel good. Again, I'm picking up on some kind of medicinal herb here, perhaps one that you are smoking. And then we have the citrus symbolism showing up as well. Oranges specifically, I believe, represent pathways opening and opportunity, rejuvenation, vitality, and energy. Right? So new energy coming from feeling better, looking better, moving better, feeling more optimistic about your future. That's what's coming in for you, group number 3. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I hope this was helpful.